Good day to you, our viewer. Thank you so much for making time to join us and watch this lunchtime news coming your way. The edition that comes your way this lovely day, the day that is marking end of 2022, 31st of December. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and it's a pleasure to be here to serve you. Now, to start off this newscast, a sad one that is coming through, former Pope Benedict the 16th has died at Vatican residence, aged 95, almost a decade after he stood down because of ailing health. He led the Catholic Church for less than 8 years until in 2013. He became the first pope to resign since Gregory the 12th in 1415. Benedict spent his final years at the Mater Ecclesiae monastery within the walls of the Vatican. His successor, Pope Francis, said he had visited him there frequently. The Vatican said in a statement, "With sorrow, I inform you that the Pope Emeritus Benedict the 16th passed away today at 9:34 in the Mater Ecclesiae monastery in the Vatican." Although the former pontiff had been ill for some time, the Holy See said that had been an aggravation in his condition because of advancing age. On Wednesday, Pope Francis appealed to his final audience of the year at the Vatican to pray a special prayer for Pope Emeritus Benedict, whom he said was very ill. Born Joseph Ratzinger in Germany, Benedict was 78 when in 2005 he became one of the oldest popes ever elected. For much of his papacy, the Catholic Church faced allegations, legal claims, and official reports into decades of child abuse by priests. Earlier this year, the former pope acknowledged that errors had been made in the handling of abuse cases while he was Archbishop of Munich between 1977 and 1982. Well, sad an incident right there, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. We shall be updating you on the happenings as they unfold. Now, in other news coming your way this Saturday, the road to transform Ugandans into the money economy is a top message in almost all President Yoweri Museveni's speeches. The period which President Museveni has spent preaching economic growth is a point of discussion to ascertain progress. Members of Parliament have mixed reactions regarding the transformation of Ugandans to the money economy status.
In one of his prominent articles about real and vulnerable economy, President Yoweri Museveni deliberates to the biblical teaching on Matthew chapter 7 verse 26 to 27 about the unwise man that did not adhere to advice and went ahead to build a house on a sand, and when the rains, winds and floods poured, the house collapsed. The president relates to Ugandans who do not adhere to his wisdom to fully transform Ugandans into the money economy, risking an ending like the foolish man whose house suffered a great fall.
I am Mnyankore. I don't play in the garden. When I'm in the garden, I cultivate.
Drawing background from his teaching experience since 1965, President Yoweri Museveni, who boasts of always teaching for low pay, says making money is not by witchcraft, but through productivity.
We do things by work and sweat and sacrifice. The ones who eat what is already done, those are also there. But that's not a problem. So money is not generated by magic, by witchcraft. It is generated by struggle to produce.
To President Yoweri Museveni, production and manufacturing is second to his belief if prosperity is to be fully achieved. He describes peasant ideologists as slumbers who are either enemies of progress or just adamant to tap into production cycle, which he repeatedly talks about.
Yeah, of course, by the president talking about it over and over again, it implies that we have not reached where we should be. And therefore he has to still keep talking about it. So maybe the investors, those who are investing, need to pick this message and see to it that we process our agricultural products here rather than exporting them raw, because that would have or bring much more benefit to the population, but also more importantly, that money economy that the president talks about would be achieved.
Even as the year 2022 comes to an end, President Yoweri Museveni recently promised to hold another address on 31st December 2022 on issues related to commercial production.
Ngenda kwogera ku abakongozi. We cannot go on working because nze siwumula nkola bya government nkola ebyange. Now you find people are just okukongora, not bothered, playing rudo in the trading centers.
Several interventions to enhance agricultural production, like promoting agricultural mechanization, fronting poverty alleviation programs to transform Ugandans still locked in the subsistence sector, among others, been put in place, though they have proved not to be the yardstick to boost production in accordance to President Museveni's dream, leading to unanswered questions on hiccups to a drive to the money economy.
I said, okay, if people can grow food by being forced, why don't we just get the military to force them to grow food? So the campaign by Mr. Museveni to turn 67% of the population into money market cannot work, because he wants to do it by giving money instead of getting people to work. Uganda receives the highest amount of rainfall in the world.
Number one, the issue of the attitude. I must say that Ugandans are more busy on politicking than going into enterprises which bring money in people's hands. When it comes to issues of politics, people are up there and, they are seated from morning to evening discussing on a Marua joint or any other drinking joint, especially in the villages and even in the town areas today, all focusing on social media, looking at matters that are of, just normal chats, other than investing time on productivity.
Interacting with some of the members of parliament who share roles in oversight and budget allocation, mixed reactions emerge on the need to understand how to deal with poverty-stricken population.
The problem is not about President Museveni, the problem is not about a member of parliament, the problem is not about LC5 chairman, the problem is you. It is only you as a Ugandan who can choose the kind of life you want.
And then once their mindset is addressed, then you can deal with you build capacity of the people. It's not just about throwing money at them, throwing items at them, but are they ready? So when we have programs where money comes on the front, as opposed to preparing someone's mindset, equipping him technically, so that when he gets money to do a project, the project is done properly. That should be the approach.
The Member of Parliament for Hoima Municipality, Dickson Kateshumbwa, says some government programs face delays in implementation, which leads to improper calculation of harvest and market.
But if you bring a program when the environment is different, then it is bound to fail. Secondly, there are programs which must be front-loaded. For example, if it is the beginning of the year, you know that you have a development budget that is very small in terms of the proportionate of the overall budget. The activities that generate money must be front-loaded so that they create an economic value that can be taxed and feed back into the economy.
Whereas the members of parliament support the idea of production as preached by President Yoweri Museveni, the fruits are yet to be achieved as the gold diggers are still at large.
Our biggest problem in this country, we have very good policies, we don't implement them. We have resources, a lot of our money is going into corruption.
The government collects money, a lot of money, it puts in one sack. And then you find a report saying that over 10 trillion was stolen in 6 months. That means the government lost 1 trillion per month. Then where will the people get the money? Because let's not hoodwink Ugandans with thinking that we are making them rich, when actually money is going to a little few people.
The partial success of government poverty alleviation programs is also attributed to partisan politics and poor balancing of the country's resources.
Look at PDM. PDM started with NRM Central Executive Committee in Jove. It was never discussed by local government, by cabinet, and then he goes forcing it down on two people, and then he thinks it will work. That's why every day there is a story about the failure of that program.
You find that the people that are running, these are that are running PDM today are saying this is our movement thing. It is ours. They have made it partisan.
Government has now invested much hopes in the current parish development model as the main drive to socio-economic transformation targeting the country's poorest individuals.
This element of looking at the critical mass is important. You know, it's not about the numbers, but it's about the effectiveness. I am very comfortable with helping 5 people in Kitgum district, but I see that the return for investment that government has put is there.
So the president should continue preaching. Are we going to get tired of preaching about the Bible, about Jesus? He came a long time ago. The Bible is there for everyone to preach. I mean to read. But why do we have preachers talking about the same thing? So let us continue talking until everybody is in the money economy.
Like in Europe now, if you go to Europe and you look for peasants, they are not there. You go and look for peasants in Europe, like your parents. They are not there. The whole society is either middle class or skilled working class. So how long shall we go in Africa like this? With peasants?
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
Uganda People's Defense Forces combat vehicles into Kasindi to Beni in Democratic Republic of Congo using wooden boat-like ferries on River Semliki. Soldiers undergo a huge challenge and risk while crossing River Semliki using old-fashioned ferry inside the Democratic Republic of Congo.
This is the shortest route Uganda People's Defense Forces uses to transport logistics to the third offensive against the ADF operating in Ituri provinces and North Kivu in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This wooden boat ferry along the River Semliki is the only lifeline and means of transport for many Congolese residents.
What we do, we come to this river and get these locally made ferries by locals of the area. Of course, the ferries are paid for, but what we do, we also come with our own fuel. We give to the ferry guys just a mutual understanding in kind, not really monetary, and they allow us pass.
Uganda People's Defense Force soldiers travel on old-fashioned Congolese ferry standing horribly. They are jam-packed, not having an inch to move and struggling on its way crossing the river.
And then most of the times you see our trucks carrying over 10 to 15 tons of logistics being taken to soldiers, and they still use these ferries. It is only today that I confirmed what risk we have in crossing this on this ferry.
Traveling on the wooden boat in form of a ferry is often overcrowded with UPDF armored carriers, goods and passengers, increasing the risk for accidents.
But the challenge of the ferry remains a big threat to us. Of course, the ferries could transport smaller cars, but a big truck, a bit risky. So we just say, God is with us and we shall make it.
Congolese hopes and concern to the government of Congo is to build a big ferry to provide affordable and safe transportation. Semliki River is utilized by Congolese residents daily for their businesses and personal travels despite boating facilities. The ferries leave a lot to be desired, poorly made, unlikely to cave in.
Like we have done in the areas of Boga, where we have placed some ferry. Thank God the government of Uganda responded. Maybe we shall communicate to the government of Uganda also, to the commander-in-chief, and tell him about this same ferry on River Semliki. Very, very risky. But we managed to cross and to ensure our soldiers are supplied across the other side.
the captain are prone to overloading the boats with a mix of both people and goods. Despite the risk UPDF soldiers undertake, the ferry eased Operation Suja movement of supplies to the forces instead of using the costly air transport. Operation Suja has 3 routes for the offensive against ADF: Kasindi Beni, Nobil River Semrik Bridge, and Brass Boga route. Haruna Mteisasira, UBC News.
Now moving on, police is hunting for people who broke into the offices of the Hoima senior president, State Anthony, and set ablaze several case files in the office of the Directorate of Public Prosecutions. According to police, unknown assailants cut the chain link fence surrounding the offices and went through a window that they broke with a cutter and later collected files from the different offices in the building before setting them on fire.
The Albertine Region Police spokesperson ASP Julius Alanakiza has confirmed that criminals broke into the offices of the Hoima Senior Resident State Attorney and burnt his files to cedars.
Unknown people came and they blocked the fence here, then they gained the entrance and they blocked the window. So all the files were collected and burnt. So most of the files were burnt into ashes. So investigation is on to establish who are those people.
The Chikube District Vice Chairperson Vincent Opio says this is very unfortunate because they use the same offices to handle their cases, and it's going to be a big setback for them, especially on land-related cases.
To ensure that the culprits are brought to book and also trace the cases very well, so that really proceedings of matters in court and also here with the DPP, with the state, does not really end there.
The Vice Chairperson requested the judiciary to increase the security infrastructure of their respective offices countrywide with a wall fence and install CCTV cameras.
Using the chain link to face the place, this is another eye-opener that this place must be guarded well, one with the deployment, and secondly, the fencing. It must be really with a perimeter wall.
The fire brigade team rushed to the scene and set off the fire before spreading to other offices.
Very sad there. Now getting into other updates of the day, the Senior Presidential Advisor, Office of the National Chairman, NRM, Hadija Namyalo, is to investigate circumstances under which funds allocation to the youth in Kampala was delayed. Namyalo made the remarks while meeting youth leaders in Kampala from 20 parishes of Kampala who claim not to have benefited from government programs.
The Office of the National Chairman, NRM, is to investigate why youth have been left behind in regard to government programs. The Senior Presidential Advisor, Hadija Namyalo, made the remarks in an interaction with youth leaders in Kampala who claim not to have benefited from government programs.
You can't convince me that we don't have not even a single youth leader or a youth that has benefited from parish models. That means someone is fighting Chairman's Manifesto. Then we come to Emyoga. I've been hearing about Emyoga for quite a long time. And many people have benefited here and there. Then, how come there are many complaints? So who steals that money? Or who diverts that money? Or where is that money stuck? That's where we are going to come in. Basically, we have to demand for this money because it's Chairman's mandate to make sure that you people are facilitated. And if the facilitators have stolen your money, let's come up and gang up and ask for what it belongs to us.
Namyalo said NRM youth leaders in Kampala played an important role in canvassing support for the NRM party, hence the need of putting focus on them. The Minister of Kampala, Hajat Minsa Kabanda, recommended for a retreat of youth leaders with the top leadership of the party to forge ways of improving their welfare and increasing support for the party.
Skilling programs are already in Kampala. We've already talked with the Director of Skilling, that is Madame Katana, and with what she's done in Kampala, I've appreciated.
Youth were asked to embrace skilling programs, with the minister promising to monitor access of their funds from Kampala Capital City Authority.
Youth councils, they are already there, and I know when we work together with them, we are going to take them to Chankwanzi for a political retreat. After, from that retreat, they will know what they are supposed to do. Because right now it seems they don't know. They were not guided as to what they should do as leaders of Kampala.
Leaders say this is the time to bring youth leaders on board because they know the problems affecting their well-being.
Tukyalina omulimu munene nnyo okulabika tuteekateeka abavubuka. Abavubuka bateekateeka bategeere program za gavumenti, bategeere omuntu bwe yenyigira mu kukola ng'okolera awamu. Ne bw'oba okola sekinnoomu, manya nti kyenkola kirina ettaffaali lye kigatta ku bannange.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Send transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Ayotalo, Hemaotanalo, Patito Sokanumpa, Hemanga Tona Dinda, Kenyonta Jesus Kodia, Alasoga Musen and Karamateri Wadenura, Jonyambe Umpeo Kuhema, cause I love you, Hema, everybody know. Oh, Hema, Maziganga Gampo.
The festive season is here and it's Christmas in 4G from Airtel. Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda, now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones this holiday season.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. Happy holidays this festive season with Airtel, the smartphone network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is no longer news that Ebola is with us. Please wash your hands with the soap every now and then. For the entire business community, ladies and gentlemen, let us lead by example. Let us sensitize our customers and let us be cautious. Avoid handshaking, avoid hugs, because it is dangerous for everyone.
If you, your loved ones, or anyone else in your community is experiencing any Ebola signs and symptoms, immediately inform the health officials in your area. You can also call 0800 100 066 or text 8500 for free to notify the health authorities. Together, we can beat Ebola. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from USAID, WHO, and UNICEF.
Hey!
Paying your bills the old way.
Let's go. Just need to buy some power.
Paying your bills with the My Airtel app.
Bro, there's a line.
You have the power in your pocket. The power to instantly pay your bills hassle-free. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Oh, you're back.
Acquire
Entering a tin is now easier than ever before with a new interface that is brief, simple, and cuts out all the excess fields from previous applications. All you need is your national IDs and you're good to go. No more waiting in long queues, as you can now acquire a tin instantly from wherever you are. Remember, it's free. Experience our new and improved modern interface that is user-friendly.
Thank you for paying your taxes.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together. It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
You're still watching. Now taking you straight into our sports updates this Saturday. All is set for the year-ending boxing and kickboxing bonanza that is due 31st December 2022 at Lamponye Mall in downtown Kampala. This after official weigh-in of all involved.
All is set for the year-ender boxing and kickboxing bonanza to be hosted at Lamponye Mall in Kampala tomorrow, 31st December 2022. It's organized by Step-by-Step Boxing Promotions worldwide and has witnessed its penultimate event, which the weigh-in represents. The day's fight card includes several boxing and kickboxing fights. Amongst those to look out for is the lightweight contest between Uganda and Charles Mulindwa against Tanzania's Hassan Bonde.
Kuna jinsi ya kucheza na mtu mfupi na kuna jinsi ya kucheza na mtu mrefu. Yaani ipo hivyo, yani kuna mtu mrefu anataka kucheza na vipi na mtu mfupi anataka kucheza na vipi. Kwa hiyo mimi nimejiandaa, najua ni mrefu kwangu. Nimejiandaa kucheza na vipi.
Charles is taller than him, and he said that when we train, because we saw his videos before, so we train how to compete him, and our exercise is going to work very, very well.
All eyes will also wait for the World Boxing Union 12-round heavyweight title fight between Farouk Daku and Tanzania's Pius Mpenda.
Alina kujanga achimanyi kubanga era ava Tanzania nalio nakuba maneno namuja kwa Museveni South Africa, nakuba Tamba namuja kwa Central Africa, nakuba Mbelwa namuja kwa Africa, nenziramu namubire Kenya namuja kwa WBC Intercontinental. Abo nabenjogera kwa Tanzania bamanyi balwanyi ne china kobuzibwa ne waka tatuona.
Mbili ubingwa WBU mkanda narudi nao nyumbani Tanzania, nabeba mkanda WBU nabeba nyumbani Tanzania.
He said that we really respect our opponent Farouk. He's a good boxer, and as he said, he won 4 times against the Tanzanian. But we are here, I mean, he's here to prove it, to revenge, because this is not about a fighting, it's a revenge.
Other boxing fights include Mase Achayo versus Otenga Jek, Nasabu Kenya versus Ayupu Wakasada, and Ken Mexico Luchamuzi against Eria Mukama.
Chirungi nnyo okuba nti nkomyewo ewaka okwotaka sana n'okuteekawo ka fight.
In total, there will be more than 25 boxing and kickboxing bouts to ensure Uganda's sports-loving community usher in the new year.
That's it for this hour. More news will be coming later on in our timely subsequent news hours of the day as activities unfold for the day, the last day of this year, 2022, today being the 31st of December. We shall bring you those activities later on in the day. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and of course from the entire team behind the scene, wish you a beautiful afternoon. Keep watching UBC and God bless you.